Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. 4 players just pushing together as a force. Some allowed to tailwind out of them. It takes a ton of damage in the process, but they find the spike. It's just on the ground. They're going to be able to swarm this.
Yeah, that's a problem because while A site, you know, can bypass this short A pressure, they have to get the spike back somehow. And EU's about to be in a lot of trouble. He spots all these players. Som, though, uses that as a distraction to slip in behind, trying to break up this defensive push because they need to get that spike back. I don't know that it's been reclaimed yet. No, it still sits on the floor, and the defense still has very good control here outside showers. This is such an awkward situation for NRG. They're trying to get, I believe that's Hayes, back over here to try to help things along with Som, but this is going to be, I don't even know what's going to happen here.
It's devolved into chaos as it stands. Viper's also going in for that long flank. Really important trade here. Ziff can take the frag. It gives Knights an opportunity. Genghsta spins around, takes down 2 with him. Down to a 1-on-1. Still, that spike not under control. As Scuba goes in for the peek. The Ghost rattles a couple of cages, but Android able to pick that up for himself. Repeats again and takes the round. A little bit dicey if NRG do push in. Nebula into guiding light. Double spray is good. Scuba takes down 2 players. No third will be forthcoming. Decent trade, all things considered, for NRG, and now they have hookah control.
Yeah, hookah control, even numbers, and weapon upgrades. You're going to love that as the attacking team. Even numbers usually will favor the attacking side. Android trying to lurk a little bit over here towards A side. Ziff is going to be here. They will meet face-to-face, but no one lands the kill. But a little bit of a disturbance being caused now by Android. Could have used it as a feint, but they decided to put down the nebulas and actually use it to just get into A site and get a plant. But Ziff is already getting a little bit of help from his rotation. Paint shells can come in. It could do a significant damage to EU here. Actually avoids the bulk of that. Owl drone comes in, does get the dart off, and Ziff combos it with the spam. And that's going to give them an edge on this retake now on 3-on-2.
Yeah, the paint shells may not have done anything, but he's cleaned out the player with a phantom from above. Now NRG will be sweating a little bit. Android, though, is going to alleviate some of that pressure that was building up. And he's still healthy, still has his shower position. And the snake bite down stops Ziff from really re-engaging. They're wasting so much of that spike timer. Android's still in such a good position as well. And they have to just take one of those players, rush towards the spike. Here comes the gravity well. It doesn't seem like there's any chance for Knights to take this round out. But they have nullified Haste. However, time itself is going to be their final adversary. And NRG make that bonus work. Deployed to try and counteract that hookah control, but doesn't connect anything. 35 seconds left, and Som will claim first blood. They have more than enough time to go for that rotation, because have a look. Android's already made up moves into lamps. So much ground has been covered, and that allows the rest of the troops to just stampede their way across. Catching Frosty unaware has opened up business. They have one more test to pass, and that is Ziff in the showers. Maybe if he can get that perfect timing peak, things can get a little bit dangerous, but Som has the bomb covered. No problems as a spike gets put down, and NRG continue to just destroy the Knights.
Yeah, it just really comes down to them being able to put so much pressure on B with that hookah control, and Android just slips through the cracks into U-Haul, honing his inner nats. He's also very famous for his Viper lurks on this map on the European side of things, and just with that U-Haul is able to use it as a pivot point, catches the entry as well, and NRG just seemingly can't have anything go wrong right now. As Android and company looking to even push through, try to stop Knights from saving some of these weapons. Scuba, though, holding on. Same with Genghsta. So weapons will remain as they now hurtle back into their spawn, but...
Oh, there was a little sneaky rotation around the back, but the Seekers has completely given that one up. So now it forwards safe passage towards the site. Snakebite on the back of the plant as they go in for the spike now. Gravwell into paint shells, but Android's able to dart himself out there at the cost of a bit of HP. Doesn't get the plant down the first time of asking, has to go back in again. And this is going to allow a little bit more time for the rotation to come in. That retake, Viper's Pit now put into position as if with the Sheriff goes straight in and takes the head and removes it. That Viper's Pit pretty much for nothing. They have lamps control. They have the weapon advantage as well, but the player advantage is going in favor of the Knights as they're starting to fall down. Some with 2 kills. Last man standing. Still needs to try and thread the eye of the needle. Has to try and pull off this some crazy play with the operator and Sheriff. Wants that intel if possible. 30 seconds left. A bit of aggression down on the mid side will yield a frag as well. Scuba taking Haste and running away with it. Toxic screen now utilized. Here comes the showstopper. This is more just denial for the time being. They've got plenty of time left. There it goes, and it will yield the frag. Som and EU, though, bounce straight back. Hunter's Fury doing quite a bit of damage. 10 seconds to play with, enough time for the spike plant to come in, and the blade storm alongside it. They have to tread lightly here. They're gonna go for the full spike plant. They get it done. Here comes the blade storm. Som gets one on the return, and that's down to EU. 1-on-2. The Nebula in his eyes, has the Vandal alongside, has some utility as well, though. Straight onto the site, there's one. Bit of damage onto Frosty, forces him off. Still plenty of time, though, as the Aldrol comes out, wants to try and find more intel. Sky, round the corner, EU with one headshot, but gets traded back. This could be an overstep. Som's waiting with the operator. It could even be a clap, but they just bypass the perfect timing on the toxic screen. They run out, and there's a tailwind, but it's still gone awry. NRG take the 2-4 trade.
Yeah, you thought there might have been a collateral on the cards there for a second, though. They were lining up toxic screen. Didn't allow them to do it, but still NRG get the 2-for-1 trade. They now have a 4-on-3 situation. They're starting to clear out a little bit of space over towards B with the Owl drone, just keeping that pressure there, keeping Frosty basically at bay. It's all kind of gangsta, playing this aggressive short A, but he has been found out. Push from the op, though, comes from Ziff at Showers, and a play needed to be made to get Knights back into the round, and that is the one that's going to do it. But still, a lot on Frosty here alone on the site.
Som is just being delayed time after time, but now can bypass those stars. Frosty, it's a labored spray, and he gets punished by Haste's Vandal. That will yield the spike plant into the backside of the B site. And with Som still alive and on fine form, with the operator in tow on Jet, it's hard to see how they can get this one done. Som picks up the kill, 23 HP. He lives to tell the tale, as has often been the case. Poison Cloud dispatched. There's the guiding light alongside it. This time there will be no Gravwell paint shell combination, so the spike gets planted on the first time of asking, but 2 big kills back to back will put them into a really awkward position, and you can see that Android was never expecting that double peek. EU suddenly all alone against 4. He's dispatched to the first, but he's gonna get flanked from Ban. And PK survived with 3 players. And here comes the Viper's Pit on both teams, as the A site is just full of toxic cloud and dust right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's being used to control short A, but EU's now trying to silence that with the Hunter's Fury. He's lining up some tags on multiple players. Can't finish either one, but chips them down. Viper's Pit used by NRG to get them forward onto site to try to get a plant on these default boxes. Lots of stuff trying to be thrown in, though, to try to get some frags, and Van does get Android down. His Bit gone.
The Pit will no longer be on the battlefield. Tex, though, is making light work of a couple of players. 2 frags go his way. EU in the meanwhile comes in big, but there's the Blade Storm. Som heard them tickling the spike, isn't falling for it. Staying in the showers, it's planted for him. Comes out, removes the head of Frosty as a knife passes between his eyes. And now Genghsta is trying desperately to clutch this round. He's all alone, multiple adversaries, and Som puts the operator to use. Slide, though, does get hit by the guiding light. I'll give them information, but he's wasting a lot of time here. Snakebite also tossed in as Tex wants to come around the corner, takes down 1, but NRG maintain the player advantage. Flash is good, and Ban follows up with the frag. 2 play 3 is NRG suddenly behind.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Tex was going to get something out of that flash, but winds up dying. Now Spike gets transitioned through the teleporter. Som is going to still maintain some short A control, and EU will get to Heaven's side before this Spike can get planted. So there's still some chances, but Scuba could get the jump on Som. It's all going to come down to timing. He could get the flank off. Not even going to matter. He just gets killed outright. Wow.
Oof. They're expecting that NRG would have a pretty solid defense side, but the best possible start for PK. As Tex, though, has removed the head of Ziff. Big pick, able to just pull back on full HP alongside his teammates and try and get this one done. Trailblazer is good, though, and that's going to yield the frag onto Android. Nothing he could do, fully concussed. Genghsta just locks it down, his elbow is removed. And although there's a Grav well tossed in, they've probably done enough to take this round down. EU, decent damage, comes in with a classic. It's suddenly down into a 1-on-1. The classic up against the Spectre. Surely the Spectre wins, but no! EU picked up the Sheriff and he's put it to use. But no one can really follow it up just yet, or at least not rapidly now. They're going to get a bit more aggressive as Tex guide lights out towards middle. They get the reward, and Cloudburst down allows them safe passage back out again. A bit of aggression up on the long B side, but the Nebula is going to keep them at bay. And a Trailblazer through the Nebula Nebula will find the information they were looking for. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, though, answering straight back. A bit of damage. Nullifies text to start off with, stops his push dead in its tracks. But no kill forthcoming. Som down in hookah. Huge pick for PK, gives them a chance.
Indeed it does. They got it back to equal numbers right now with the rotations already in play here for NRG. They've only really left one behind towards A, that's Android. Everyone else ready to fight here, but oh, Tex had a really big angle to hold, and when he goes down, now the defense starts to crumble. Android's on the rotation, but main advantage now for Knights.
And up close, gets dealt with by Hayes, who could be springing for more. Damage inflicted, but no second kill forthcoming. NRG are struggling. EU, very low on HP, can't afford to peek round there. They need Android to do most of the heavy lifting, but he gets spotted as he pushes to the back of the site. There's one frag, should get shut down. Oh, Frosty nearly whiffed it, but he does just about recover. Seconds up on the clock. Tons of utility now from the Astra. Also paint shells, but look at this crossfire. It is so strong. Hayes gets destroyed, though. Dispatch doesn't quite go the way I was expecting. And NRG not in a position to stop this spike plant. They're still rotating over from the A side of the map, taking some hookah control for themselves now. But PK out of nowhere have made a real go of this round.
Yeah, they fought through a really big hold on to the site. They both will be playing from elbow position. NRG, of course, won't really know if they're playing back halls or octagon. They don't really have any ideas because they both flanked. Try to use a toxic screen to block some vision. Good hold by Som at the op, but he misses a shot with the spike. Still being diffused. It does get to halfway.
Blade Storm out, realizing he needs to change it up, change up the pace. There's one kill down. Android is nullified the first, and there's Som with the operator.
To really take an extended fight. Trailblazer spots 2 at long B. Som knows one has to cross back, and he's ready for it.
Spike down B. Here.
Oh, that's the spike as well, and he's pinged it. He knows. That's so much information. Nebula has been put into position to try and thwart that so they can retrieve the spike and keep their options open. Another Nebula into the window side of hookah. Paint shells to the back of the site. Won't be doing any damage, but Som actually does get hit by one of the clusters. Zift claims the kill onto the operator. And that's huge. Showstopper now through onto elbow. Won't be tailing the kill, but EU comes right back, and there's Haste. He had a slow start, but he's picking up pace now.
Just really pushed the pace here at short A early. Som playing over the top. A lot of this utility with the op. Does get the hit onto Ziff, but Frosty quick to respond. That's a big frag. Gets him a little bit of an opening.
Yeah, it's huge. Snakebite will stop them from playing too aggressively through on the short side, and Tex, in the meanwhile, makes short work of genghsta. Huge pick, has been the talisman, really, of this PK roster. Information, Frosty may not be long for this world, but there is a little bit of a complication in the form of lamps that needs to be doused down, and will be doused down. Scuba.
Standing ahead.
The business end of the map, and we'll see aggression from Tex, but he runs into the gauntlet of genghsta. And genghsta slices and dices for 2. PK have a lifeline.
That's very true. Very early advantage, stopping that long B push. Now it comes down to Som to try to make a play with the op. He's trying to get aggressive, trying to set up, try to get the pick and then dash away. You'd have to imagine Frosty does avoid the bullet, however. So they'll maintain the edge, 4-3. Owl Drone pays a way forward. Trying to carve out some info on site. Viper's Pit drop to give Knights even more space to safely plant. Som can now only hold U-Haul.
Oh, Ziff leaps into the air, maybe trying to draw out the operator shot.
Oh my.
He gets the paint shells, though. Som again falls to the paint shells. Spray through on the Viper's Pit. Right idea, not necessarily required though. And in that moment, PK decide, let's use that teleporter. Let's get the hell to B site. Don't feel too confident about this one. On the approach, Android had a chance and does finally capitalize. Losing no health. And with his position still a threat, still to be contended with, it gives them a chance. Snakebite out onto long will draw them away. There's a second one. They're stuck in a really awkward position now. Android, though, can't finish off what he started, but this is all wasting valuable time for EU to make moves onto the site. He's already got round behind them on B. He's already making so much movement, and Android is doing so much work single-handedly. A very low genghsta, one bullet, and he's a goner, and he takes down genghsta. Android with a beautiful clutch at the end, and NRG will win 13-8.
Oh, and that's huge. That just shows you the skill that NRG has, Vince, man.